Hi, I'm Lynn Bridgeford from Bios, and today in our series on coaching and mental health, we're going to be looking at supervision. What is it, what it's good for, what does it mean, and who is it for, and who is it run by? So supervision in the traditional sense is somebody who's a supervisor, is above somebody else, and they're guiding them, telling them what to do, overseeing their work, checking on how they do it. And sometimes in corporate associations this has had some less than positive associations. In terms of coaching and counselling and mental health areas, supervision has a much more positive role. Supervision is something that keeps us on track. So a supervisor is somebody who's trained specifically how to supervise other people's work in coaching, counselling and mental health areas. So what is it? It is a requirement of good practice. So as a coach going to supervision, I want to go and know that I'm doing a good job. I want to make sure my ethics are on target, that I'm up to date with all the latest thinking, and that my practices are good, my techniques are good. So rather than being a judgment session, it is a support session. Normally there can be one-to-one sessions on supervision. What I find really helpful is group sessions. So a group of coaches will get together with a supervisor and we will set up a format and decide what are we going to look at, what are we going to work on, and each person may bring something different to supervision. It may be that we want to do some reflective thinking, having a look at a case perhaps that maybe didn't go as smoothly as we would have liked. So without giving specific context or details, so we can keep our confidentiality intact, we may talk about the process and what happened, what we think went well with the client, what we think went less well, and then invite suggestions and coaching in the form of supervision from the supervisor and also from the other colleagues in the group, where there may be some suggestions of something that somebody else has tried in a similar situation that went well, perhaps a suggestion of some further training, a different way of looking at something. It's always a reflective process. So what went well, what went less well, what did the coach learn in a session, and what could we do to be more effective for our clients or coachees? So this can be about ethics, it can be about techniques, it can be about how we feel. So as a coach, perhaps a session or an upcoming session has filled me with a little bit of doubt about how to deal with it. Supervision is perfect to go along and say, I'm not certain about this situation, I've handled something similar before, there's something a little different. And the supervisor, rather than telling me what to do, will encourage me to remember the things that I know. Yes, of course, if I need some reminding, I will get that. But it's more about an empowerment, how to bring the best out in me so I can be the best for my clients. So reflective thinking, that's used in many different areas of work, and it's thinking on what happened, not just doing a job and forgetting about it. What went well, what felt good, what felt like we would have liked to have done more. Perhaps we could have done a different contract with the client before working. Perhaps we want to set up to do a few sessions of work because what the client has brought to the session is too much to deal with in one go. So supervision may be helpful to look at how could we break those down. And many times the coach will know how to do this. It's really that supervision is exceptionally helpful in just making us the best we can be of ourselves and giving the best for our clients. Supervision is a huge support for all people receiving it. And it's always good to check ourselves. It's a form of professional development and keeping our professional conduct intact. So if we are a little bit off with something, we will learn in supervision perhaps something we need to learn more about, get up to date on, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. It always feels fantastically supportive and puts me in touch with how to be the best coach I can possibly be. So how does this benefit the coachees or the clients? Well, what you're getting is somebody to coach you who's on top of their game and checking that there may be a better way to handle something if it's an unusual situation, of course without betraying competences. You can be sure that your coach is going to somebody who's more experienced and getting ideas, and even from other colleagues, ideas of how to approach that differently. So it's about pooling knowledge, and we're all always learning. So the supervisor is going to be learning from supervising the coaches as well. It's not a fact of one person's better than another. We're sitting in different roles. So I'm very delighted to take part in supervision and learn what I'm doing well, what I could do better at, and what I feel I still need to learn more of. So this is all a way to help my clients, and for every coach and counsellor to help their clients to feel more confident that they're getting the very best help they can get. And that's what it's all about. And for me, coaching is about helping people be empowered to solve their situations better. So my role as a coach is to have a conversation, to listen, and to bring in some wisdom and techniques that I know how to use to empower someone to see where they want to go next and how they can do that best, rather than telling someone what to do. Thank you so much.